just going to walk through creating your 2-point perspective design for your Arkitainer. We're going to draw this building below the horizon line. So that means to start with, draw the horizon line nice and high up the page. Probably about a quarter of the way down will work. Either side nice and wide, we want to drop our vanishing points in. Okay, so as with all of our cuboids, we're going to start by drawing a vertical front edge. Now make sure it's vertical, and I'm going to draw this slightly off to the left hand side because we're drawing that cuboid shape. Okay, tops and bottoms of the points go to our vanishing points. I'm going to use my ruler throughout this tutorial just because it makes it nice and straightforward to ensure that I'm joining up my points to the vanishing points really accurately. And at this stage, that's going to be one of the most important parts of your drawings. If you're not doing that, you're going to start to see mistakes appearing quite frequently. Once you've joined the top and the bottom to the vanishing points, we're going to cut off the sides to create the two big sides to our Arkitainer. So this side we want to make the left here look quite square. So thinking about the proportions, I'm going to put my vertical line in just there. And going across to the right here, that's going to be more of a rectangle shape. I'm going to leave it quite a bit longer, just dropping that in that side there. So you can see now that we've got a square roughly here, and I'm not using measurements, I'm just doing this on proportions and kind of on look, judging it as best I can. The next move then will be to move from this top point here and this top point to the diagonal vanishing points opposite, okay? So if we join from the top, going across that way, and from this vanishing point to here, just take your time to line it up, make sure it's nice and accurate, join it all the way across, and you can see we've now made the roof of our Arkitainer, so it's a fairly good start. All we're going to do is put a window and a door in. We're going to put a small door on this left hand side and a window on here. So to start with, think about the height of your door. The container is about 2.4 metres tall. 2 metres would be ample for a door. If you want to go a little bit higher, that's absolutely fine. Again, we're just judging it on proportion. So I'm going to draw a vertical line here where I want the left hand side of my door. I'm going to join that in, making sure it is vertical, and going towards the top. I'm going to leave a fairly even gap here to what I leave at the top here. So now joining across to the vanishing point, because I'm only ever going to have vertical lines or diagonal lines that go to the vanishing points, okay? So just drawing that in fairly lightly, and then decide on your door width, think what they look like in reality, and try and mimic that in your drawing. So we can see that we've created a door here. Fairly light lines the whole time. Once you've done that, you can draw your window in this side. So I'm going to give it a nice big feature window, and giving it an even border all the way around, joining the diagonals to the vanishing points, and chopping off at the ends here with nice vertical lines. Okay, you can see the window and the door. All I'm going to do now is make them look a little bit more 3D. So instead of it just looking like I've drawn a rectangle on the side of a rectangle and there's no depth to it, we're going to give them a thickness on this side here. Only this side for the door, because that's the only side I'm going to see. The base is the floor, so you wouldn't see the thickness there. I can't see here, and I can't see underneath, because remember we're working below the horizon line. So I'm just going to darken this door up. I'm going to give it a thickness first here, and then go around the edges of the door that I want to keep with my pencil, just pushing a little bit firmer to make them stand out. This way I'm also not going to have to rub out any of my construction lines, so it's going to look nice and neat the whole time. So we've got that in there. The only one little bit I'm needing to do now is from this bottom corner here, I'm going to join back to this vanishing point very, very lightly. And then I'm just going to darken up that little bit that I want to keep. And you can see there, it's giving it a nice depth to the door, so it does look like it's now cutting through the wall and not just sat on it. So I'm going to do the same for the window. We would see this side here, so I'm going to drop a vertical line in there. And we would see the bottom here. So I'm going to join to the vanishing point going along the bottom. And the last line you'd see is there where those two edges meet. So we join to the vanishing point again. And follow that line in. And just take your time then, just to darken these edges up slightly. And make them look that little bit clearer. Last one there. and they're drawn in. So we've got the door and the window on our basic Arkitainer design. I want to make this look like it's glass, so all I'm going to do is 3 quick diagonal lines to make it look like there is glass in there, and I'll leave the door open. The last little feature I'll add to mine, you can add as many as you want to yours. The last one I'm going to add to mine is just a small fence coming off the side here. I'll show you how to do that. Joining from the vanishing point, I want it coming about halfway up the height of the container. So drawing that all the way through. It's then going to come out at the bottom corner here, because it's going to line up nicely with the floor. I'm just drawing that in lightly too. I don't want it to come too far out, so I'm just going to chop it off there. Okay, darken up the bits that you want to keep. And once you've done that, we're then going to just add a thickness to the top of the fence. So, joining again to my vanishing points, I'm going to thicken that up. Join this corner to this vanishing point, add an extra vertical in, and this bottom one again to the vanishing point. And you can see the difference that joining it to the vanishing point makes. If I just randomly put a horizontal in here, it would start to make the whole drawing look a little bit wrong. I'm just going to darken some of the lines up that I now want to keep. So without doing any rubbing out, my Arkitainer should start to become very, very clear. If you want to design a building that's got 2 stories, it is all the same techniques. Just make sure the whole time you join into the vanishing points. If you go above the horizon line, the same rules apply, but think about it in terms of your eye line. You would start to see the bottom of things as opposed to the top of things. So there we go. We have a basic 2-point perspective Arkitainer design with a small fence poking out, a door and a window. And you can start to customise that as much or as little as you would like to. Good luck, and don't forget, if you get stuck with it, please just drop your teacher an email.